Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lamone, and this is my review for Novacaine. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Shall I'm to leave a like, comment below, and let me know your thoughts on Novacaine, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I will greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, Novacaine, it stars Jack Quaid, Amber Midthunder, Jacob Batalon, and Ray Nicholson, and what really turned out to be a battle of Nepo babies between Ray Nicholson and Jack Quaid, who do both a great job in the film. And I gotta say, Jack Quaid is having a hell of a year. He is having one hell of a year. I mean, if he pops up in Gen V later on this year, he's gonna have a very, very good year, and not just a very good year. I mean, the first half, he has done great so far. He was in Companion earlier this year, which to me is probably still the best movie of the year, but he is also in this movie, which I would argue is the most fun movie of the year. And this movie really does rely on his shoulders, and he takes it with stride. He has a lot of fun. He's very, very entertaining within this movie, playing this guy who has this very real disease. I knew it was real, but I did not know how extreme they had to go with it. I was thinking, oh, maybe, this is just Hollywood. But then, I looked it up after seeing the movie because I was very, very intrigued by, the conversations that he is having with Amber Midthunder's character at the diner, where he's like, I have to be super cautious. I can't even eat solid foods because my body will not let me know that, hey, I may bite my tongue, and therefore I may bite my tongue off because I do not have that fear. Because, in theory, we could bite our fingers as if it was like a carrot, but something in our body and our brain tells us to go, hey, that's gonna hurt, you should stop. Same with our tongues, right? We could do the same thing with that too, but since his body can't tell him that, he just resorts to just smoothies and milkshakes. That's how he consumes food, and that's how he gets by through the day. And he also has to set an alarm for every 3 hours so that way he can pee. Because again, his bladder will get full and his body will not tell him, hey, you're full, we're gonna explode if you don't go to the bathroom right now. And learning that yes, it is very real, and that it is very real that most of the people's lifespan with this disability do only live to be about 25, because again, with how cautious they have to be with everything, because their body can't tell them. If your body cannot tell you that you're going to be hurt, or that you are in trouble, that you are sick, la-di-da-di-da, you have some very, very detrimental stakes to your body. But within that, also becomes a really, really fun action movie. And it's a very simple premise on the base, right? Boy meets girl, boy likes girl, girl likes boy. They have a relationship. Chaos, hijinks presumes, girl gets kidnapped, boy wants to save girl, but boy cannot feel pain. And the action is very, very fun, and also very brutal too. And I will say, you probably do not get this feeling unless you are in a theater. This movie really reminded me of last year's Fall Guy in a lot of ways, where, this action is very big, high stakes. You really feel every single punch because you have the surround sound with you and all that. Now, don't get me wrong, like Fall Guy, I still think this movie is entertaining if you are to watch it at home in the theater. Sometimes a movie is only good within the theater, and sometimes a movie, it's not as fun in the theater. You'll probably do better at home. To me, this is a movie that's going to do best in both settings. Watch it however you feel comfortable, but I really do plead to you to please head out to the theaters to go see this movie, because these types of movies deserve to be rewarded. Again, this is to me what a blockbuster should be. Simple story, love story that you can get behind, protagonists that you can really cheer for, bad guys you can really boo. Like I say, Ray Nicholson plays a great villain in this movie. Again, very mustache twirly for the most part, but he is just so energetic and has so much charisma with it. You're just like, you know what? As mustache twirling and animated as you are, I'm having a good time with you. And lots of fun action that makes you go, ooh, I cannot believe they did that. And just a lot of laughs along the way too, and it just deserves to be seen in a big crowd with a tub of popcorn in your hand, and you're just stuffing your face and you're having a great time within it. And a lot of that is to do with Jack Quaid, who does an amazing job in this starring role. Amber Midthunder, I was worried about her going into this movie, not due to her acting by any means. No, she's a phenomenal performer. It's just, within the marketing, she is being portrayed as the damsel in distress, right? She's the girlfriend who gets caught. Jack Quaid is trying to save her. And, I'm pretty sure all of us here have seen Prey, right? We know she ain't no damsel in distress. She is very much capable of holding her own. And I was just worried that she was going to be resorted to that and she wasn't going to be really given much to do to really showcase her talents. And for the most part, yeah, it's nowhere near Prey level, but she is able to do a lot more than to just be the damsel in distress. And again, this movie is very simple on the base level, right? But there are some twists and turns, particularly within her character, that I honestly didn't catch. And then as I was leaving the movie and I was thinking back on it, I was like, man, I can't believe I didn't catch that. Because usually I can catch these things now. It doesn't really affect if I enjoy a movie or if I enjoy a movie any more or less, for if I don't catch things. But, I was just pleasantly surprised that they were able to surprise me with something that, again, typically I'm able to pick up on. And as I was thinking back, I was like, oh, wow, they really planted the seeds throughout the whole entire movie. And is that part writing? Sure, which was written really good as well. Again, very, very entertaining all the way through. Directed very well, too. A lot of that is writing. A lot of that is directing. But I do think a lot of it does also come in to the performer as well to really sell us on the direction this character is going. Now, the only other thing I will say, and I do not give this to Amber whatsoever, I will say this is more to the writing or just into the editing room in general. When we do this turn and we do this twist, and again, that it's laid early on and it happens like right when the second act is going to begin. Like you feel it from the transaction from act 1 to act 2. And you're like, oh, wow. So it's still relatively early when this happens. It does, with how her character is going about it and with the things that are revealed, I'm just sitting there going like, well, why the sudden change? You know what I mean? So even though the turn is really, really interesting and it really gets me intrigued, then I kind of like thinking back to things that have nothing to do with the movie. It kind of is what I call, the cinema sins thing, where you're like, okay, well, if this is happening, then how did we get here, and what were they doing before, and all these things, and like you just start to overconvoluting to the point at that point. And again, at the end of the day, it is more of a minor nitpick as it is an actual criticism of the movie, but I cannot just ignore it when this thing happens and I go, interesting. Wait, actually, that makes no sense. Wait, actually, this makes no sense. And again, you just hear the dings, the cinema sins thing, as you are progressing, as you're watching the movie. But later on, I was able to just forget about it and just go along for the ride. But again, I think it is more of a nitpick than an actual criticism of the movie. Jacob Batalon, you know him from being Ned and Spider-Man. He kind of shows in the later half of the movie. He is very entertaining when he does come in, but he is definitely the one who has the less to do within the film. But when he is in the movie, he does make his presence felt, and he does have a presence in the movie that you don't forget about him by any means. It's not definitely a waste of a spot, as another actor who is not as skilled as Jacob would feel like, hey, kind of gets forgotten about after you watch the movie. But no, his performance is still very strong in this, even though, again, he is out of every of the main players in this movie, he is the one given the less to do. But again, I have to reiterate, this is a very, very fun movie and deserves to be seen on the biggest screen possible. I encourage you to head out to the theaters. Like, if theaters are not your thing, fine. I understand. Wait to watch it at home when it is available, wherever you feel most comfortable. But I cannot stress enough, to me, this is truly why the movie theaters were made. It's just a very, very fun blockbuster, a very original blockbuster that gives you a lot of insight to an actual disability that you did not know about, that makes you want to study this disability a little bit too. Like I said, I got home, and after, I was winding down for the day, I was on my phone and I was just looking it up. Like, what is this? How factual is it? And for the most part, it was. It does get a little fantastical towards the end. To me, anyway, I think it does. Again, it could have been really, really spot on, and the science would have proven like, yep, nope, all this could actually happen. But Yeah, it's just a very, very fun movie. I had a good time with it. I may go again this weekend. That's how much I enjoyed the ride. Amber Midthunder and Jack Quaid's chemistry is amazing. The cast overall just seemed like they were having a ball making it, and I had a ball watching it. So if I had to rank this on the lemon scale, where it goes sour lemon at the bottom, expired store-bought lemonade, a lot of bad, but hey, there's good. Store-bought lemonade, hey, it's good, but there's a lot of bad. Lemonade in the middle, hey, it's a very good movie. You can take it either way you want. Freshly squeezed lemonade, a lot of good with minor bad, and then strawberry lemonade at the very top because that is the best kind of lemonade. You know, Companion is number one to me. I do think Novacaine is number two, and therefore it ties with Companion's rating, which is a freshly squeezed lemonade. Again, my only problem within it is, again, the CinemaSins brain that's going off at me, which is kind of what happened with the Companion movie as well. Again, both movies starring Jack Quaid, where it's just that one thing that happens, and it was just really hard. Hell, even now, I'm still having a hard time with it, but I can't really go more into it without getting to spoiler territory, and I want y'all to go on for the ride and be surprised as I was, or maybe you pick up on it too, because again, after I was watching, I was like, oh wow, they really laid the scenes on it, but again, just after it just really leaves you wondering. I was like, well, how did we even get here, and how did she get here? You know, it's just one of those things. But yeah, again, I think it's more of a minor nitpick. It's just my battle. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about it down in the comment section. Leave a like if you made it this far within the review. I do greatly appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. And if you want to come on this ride with me. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.